Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tear down one of the biggest myths in sales, this idea that you have to use pressure to close those big high-ticket deals. We're going to explore a totally different way, one that's all about authority and real confidence.
Okay, let's just pause on this for a second, because this one idea flips the entire sales game on its head. I mean, what if all that pushing, all that fake urgency you've been taught to create is actually the very thing that's killing your deals?
So first, let's diagnose the real problem here. We call it the posture of neediness. It's a way of showing up that just screams desperation, and it has this uncanny ability to repel the exact kind of high-level clients you want to attract.
Does any of this hit a little too close to home? This is that frantic energy of someone who needs this sale to happen. And you got to understand, sophisticated buyers can smell that neediness from a mile away. It just instantly tanks your credibility.
And what's so powerful about this is seeing the direct cause and effect. Everything you do on the left creates the exact opposite of what you want on the right. Every time you chase, they feel hunted. The second you offer a discount they didn't ask for, they sense your desperation and lose respect.
And here's the real kicker. This old way of doing things doesn't just feel awful, it actually acts as a filter for the wrong kind of client. You end up attracting other people who are in a state of panic, not the calm, confident decision makers who can write those big checks.
All right, enough about what's broken. Let's talk about the solution. It's time to shift to a much more powerful and, honestly, a much more enjoyable way to sell. It's called the authority of calm.
And this right here, this is the fundamental shift in your mindset. See, calm selling isn't a new script you memorize or some clever tactic. It's a posture. It's an internal confidence that just radiates from you. You're not there to convince anyone of anything. You're there to lead with certainty.
This really illustrates the change in your role perfectly. You stop being the desperate hunter who's trying to corner a sale. Instead, you become the calm, trusted guide. And a guide doesn't have to push or pull anyone. They just confidently show the path forward.
You know, this is the immediate result. The moment you take that pressure off the table, the prospect's guard just comes down. They finally feel respected instead of feeling like they're in an interrogation. And in that space, you can have a real conversation, and they can make a real decision.
Okay, now let's zoom in on what is maybe the single most powerful technique in this entire framework. And the best part? It doesn't cost you a dime, and it can change your results almost immediately.
So picture this. One of the advisor's students is on a big sales call. He's laid out the offer, the price, the whole transformation, and then nothing. The prospect just hesitates. Now, the old him would have been in total panic mode right now.
But this time, he fights every single one of those needy instincts. He doesn't jump in to fill the quiet. He doesn't blurt out, "Hey, what if I knocked a little off the price?" Nope. He just holds the frame. All he did was calmly and simply bring the conversation back to the value, back to the transformation, back to the real reason they were even having this conversation in the first place. And then he did the hardest but most powerful thing you can do. He stopped talking. He just sat in the silence. He let the full weight of the decision rest exactly where it belongs, with the prospect. This isn't awkward silence. It's powerful silence. So what happened? The prospect was the one to break the silence, and they literally sold themselves on the solution. Why? Because that silence wasn't empty. It was filled with the salesperson's unspoken certainty. His confidence was so strong it became contagious. And that really is the heart of it all. It's a paradox, but the moment you can emotionally detach from the outcome, the moment you genuinely don't need the sale, is the moment you gain all the power. Your posture just naturally shifts from pleading to leading. So what does this actually look like in the real world? When you start to implement this, how does it really transform your business and how you relate to your clients? It really breaks down into this three-step process, and it all starts inside you. First, you anchor your own emotional state so that a no just doesn't faze you. Second, you fully step into that role of the guide. And third, you just watch as the right clients start showing up, drawn to your newfound authority.
I absolutely love this analogy. Think of your offer as a steady bridge to where your prospect wants to go. The needy seller tries to shove them across it, but the calm authority? They just stand at the entrance of the bridge, showing them that it's safe, it's steady, and it leads exactly where they want to go.
You know, it's a blunt question, but it's one we all have to ask ourselves. Because your sales approach is already answering it for every single person you talk to. The frantic follow-ups, the fake urgency, that makes you a pest.
the calm certainty, that makes you the prize.
So, if you're just tired of the chase, tired of wrestling people into a yes, and tired of that awful feeling in your stomach before a sales call, then it's probably time to change your entire frequency. If you're ready to evolve from that sales grind to truly scaling with authority, this is how you start.